Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with The View from the Pew. Today I want to talk with you about something a little bit different than maybe we normally talk about here. I want to be just a little bit political for a few minutes. Now, something has happened recently that has led a number of people to ask, is the world becoming conservative? And especially I saw a headline from CBC the other day asking, did Canada become a conservative country? Because if you look at the provinces and who they've elected, and of course, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same in the federal election coming up, you see all these conservative parties get into power. Okay, provincial conservatives and soon federal conservatives. And that's not only in Canada. Of course, we have Trump in the US, we've got the Conservative Party brought into power in Australia, a number of countries in Europe, and every time this happens, Brexit would be another example. And so every time this happens, people sit there and scratch their heads going, you know, I thought this was a progressive country. I thought this was a fairly liberal-leaning country. And I don't think that they're wrong. Okay, Canada, I would say, is absolutely liberal-leaning, for sure. However, what's happening right now is a little bit different. Now, let me take a break and say two things, okay? First of all, in this video, I am in no way suggesting that if you're a faithful Christian person, or if you want to be viewed as a faithful Christian person, you must vote for a particular political party. All right, and I don't know any Christian who says that. I know all kinds of preachers and elders and all and Christians, of course, and all the people that I know are happy to serve alongside and attend church with and pursue the cause of Christ with others who vote all kinds of different parties in political elections, whether it be, you know, Republicans and Democrats down in the States, or whether it be, you know, NDP or Green Party or Liberal or Conservative up here, or I guess now there's the People's Party of Canada as well. And I don't care which one of those you associate with or vote for, right? You can still be a faithful Christian. However, I'm not sure everyone would agree with me, right? And I'm not suggesting, by the way, that other Christians wouldn't agree with me. The people I don't think would agree with me are those on the political left. Right, they are making it over and over again abundantly clear that they don't want the association with or the votes of huge portions of the population, right? Justin Trudeau very specifically said, if you are pro-life, you're not welcome in the Liberal Party. Well, I'm like, okay, right, that makes my voting decision a lot easier, doesn't it? And the same is true for many, many other people, right? Now, let me add one other point here, and that is this. I am a conservative Christian person, right? Probably many people who know me would say I'm more conservative than they are. That is other Christian people, other believing people, right? That Kevin, he's a pretty conservative guy, okay? On certain issues anyway. I can tell you that I have never once advocated for someone who disagrees with me about a moral issue, a political issue, a religious issue, to be physically attacked, right? I've never advocated for them to be kicked out of their job or out of the school that they attend, right? I've never advocated for them to be silenced in some way, to be deplatformed, unallowed to share their views, right? In fact, I have had people at this church speak about something where, you know, we had an ongoing disagreement. I said, fine, look, here's the platform. Go ahead and share with us what you're thinking, and we can talk about it, right? I'm happy to have that happen. I believe ideas need to be shared and examined and discussed, right? And yet, the very things that I'm describing that I would never do, right? Those on the political left have done them and advocated for them over and over and over again. Every day there's a new news story about someone who they're calling should lose their job or be kicked out of their office, or, you know, be kicked out of the school they attend or out of the school where they teach at. All right? Every day you hear that kind of thing. And of course, you know, there are all kinds of stories about those on the political left physically attacking and assaulting people for words, right? I tell my son when he goes to school, you know, look, if you're physically attacked, you can defend yourself. But if someone teases you and calls you a bad name, you cannot go and punch them in the face. You can't do that, right? He's 8 years old and I expect him to know that, and yet there are grown adults who haven't figured it out. Right? Now, let me me get back to what I was saying, because I think there's a good way to describe what we're witnessing here, and it is in religious terms. What is happening with the political left right now is they are engaging in a modern day inquisition, where you've got this ongoing test of everyone's faith. Okay, and if everyone doesn't hold just the right doctrines, they're out. Right? And not only, as we just finished discussing, are they out in terms of, hey, we disagree with you and we don't want anything to do, we're not going to let you be part of our group, but they're out, hey, they should be attacked, they should be fired from their job, they should be kicked out of their school, and on the story goes. All right? Now, here's the result of that. When you go around telling people that unless you agree with me on every point of doctrine, you can't be part of my club, they're going to listen. Right? When you say to someone, you're not welcome here, they're going to be like, okay, I guess I'm not welcome. And certainly then they're not going to vote for you. How could they? You specifically told them not to. And so why would you be surprised? Right? Again, Justin Trudeau, when he was leader, but before the election, made it very clear that if you were pro-life, right, you are not welcome in the Liberal Party. So that's one point on the list, right? Unless you're in favor of abortion, right? Forget it. We don't want you, right? Okay, right? Now, what's happened is that list has gotten longer and longer and longer, and more items have been added to it. And if you don't hold to every item on the list, forget it. You're out. You're a horrible person. You go in Hillary's, basket of deplorables. And so, you have to believe in wealth redistribution, okay? You have to believe in 72 genders or more. You have to be a militant feminist and be in favor of equality of outcome, not equality of opportunity. Right? You have to believe in politically correct speech, and you can't just, it's not enough, okay, just to say, yeah, we have to make sure that our speech doesn't offend anyone. Right? Which is wrong to begin with, right? Truth is going to be difficult to handle. That's the nature of it. Okay? But those on the progressive end or the liberal end of the political spectrum would take it a step further and say, no. It's not enough that you just make sure that you just try not to offend anybody with what you say, but if you do offend anybody with what you say, you should be charged with hate speech and be punished legally. Right? And we're not even close to being done yet. Right? You should be forced to use the pronouns of somebody who doesn't know what gender they are. And in school, we should be teaching kids that it's wrong to know what gender you are, and it's even more wrong to know what gender someone else is. Right? That's just a horrible thing to do, and you're just hurting someone and should be imprisoned for even thinking that. Okay? And again, right, we're not done. You have to be anti-fossil fuel. You have to be in favor of every liberal effort to address climate change, right? It's not enough to just say, hey, climate change is a thing, we should be doing something about it, but if someone suggests, hey, we should do this about it, and you go, I don't think that's a good idea. They go, no, you're a climate change denier, you're a horrible person, you're probably a racist and a bigot and everything else as well, right? And so you've got to hold the line on every single point, right? You must believe it's racist to value Western culture, okay? It's racist to claim that Judeo-Christian values are important to a functioning society, even though values and race are not equated at all, right? And so what happens is when you tell people this, right, and as you go down that list, and every item on that list excludes another group of people, okay, and so by the time you get to the bottom of the list, you've excluded everyone. There's no one left to vote for you in an election. So how, and the thing that makes me crazy here is, why would you expect to win an election when you just spent all your time running around telling everyone how awful they are and how no one should, no one can be a part of your special elite club? But then when it comes to election time, you say, oh yeah, but all you worthless, horrible people, you should vote for me. Right? Obviously, that is not going to happen. And so by enforcing these doctrines, right, all they do is ensure their future failure. Okay? If you haven't figured it out yet, right? And I thought politicians would know this, but apparently not. If you want to win an election, you need people to vote for you. So it's not a good idea to alienate them. And yet that's exactly what the Liberal Party and the NDP and everyone on the political left is insistent upon doing. Right? It's not enough to just say I disagree with you, but you must be completely shamed and left out and excluded and fired and everything, even attacked, right? Now listen, as a fiscal and social conservative, I'm happy with the Liberal strategy. But I don't understand why they would be happy with it. Okay? And I guess that's not entirely true, because the fact is, right, there are times in my life where I have voted Liberal. But those times are gone because they very specifically told me, we hate you, we want nothing to do with you, you're a piece of junk. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right? And let me add, as we kind of close here, I'm gonna post a follow-up video to this in the not too distant future, because what I would suggest to you is that most people are center. Okay, most people don't buy into every single point of, you know, hardcore leftists, and they don't buy into every single point of hardcore rightists, okay, conservatives. They don't. Most people are in the middle. But the problem is, those people in the middle, you've left them with no good option, right? All the conservatives have had to do is say, yeah, we don't hate you, right? And even if you don't agree with us, we're not going to kick you out. And people go, okay, well, I guess I have to vote for you, because the other party has been very clear that they want nothing to do with me. All right. Now, I'm going to post a subsequent video to this where I address some of the things that are happening in the Conservative Party, especially here in Canada, as it affects social conservatives. All right, so that is people who hold Judeo-Christian moral values. They believe in marriage. They believe in, you know, anyway, that's a discussion for another day. But that's going to be the follow-up video to this, because there have been some things happening with a friend of mine, Ann Gillies, and with some others who've been in the on the Canada side of politics, where the Conservative Party has sent some messages to social conservatives that maybe you're not welcome, right? And so we'll address that in a subsequent video. But for now, if you want to know why Liberals can't win elections, it's because they've told everyone not to vote for them. And so, of course, when you tell people don't vote for me, you're going to be hard-pressed to win an election. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your comments down below. That's The View from the Pew.